Frank, I understand you got some big news for us on another show before the end of the year. Talk us through it.
Yeah, on the 9th of December at the Copper Box in London, James DeGale will be defending his super middleweight title, and Lee Selby will be defending his title also on the same show. And on the undercard, we'll have Anthony Yard, we'll be having Daniel Dubois, amongst many other top quality fights and fighters. So I'm really pleased with it. It's a good end of the year show for London.
Right, so I'm just going to have the reaction of a boxing fan, and let's just rewind a second there. You said James DeGale.
Yep.
So James DeGale's back with us.
Well, he's on this show, and we'll see where we go from there. But it's one step at a time. I've been working with Al Heyman and Richard Schaefer on it, and this is where we're at. So it'll be a homecoming for James. He's not fought in London for quite a while, so I'm quite sure he'll be delighted, be on home territory, and obviously get the cobwebs out of his system, having been laid up for the last year, and seeing lots of things going on in that division of his, with his series and so forth, when actually he's the best super middleweight out there. So I'm quite sure he'll be looking to put on an impressive performance, and on Monday we'll be be having a press conference in London and be obviously announcing the opponents. He's been on the road, he's been doing it the hard way, but now he's back in town, and it'll be good to see him in London again.
Brilliant news. And Lee Selby then. Lee Selby's going to be on one of our shows. Talk us through that.
Yeah, been sort of talking about this for quite a while, and obviously we've got a great situation going in that weight division with Josh Warrington and Carl Frampton. Josh won his eliminator on Saturday in good style, stopping Chelan, and I was very, very impressed with him, and I thought I think he made a bit of a statement actually in what he did. He wore him down and broke his heart. So now, after this fight on the 9th, Lee has to defend his title as ordered by the IBF against Josh, and we'll be looking to put that fight on in Leeds sometime in April.
And is this the Ellen Road? Is that
that'd be the favourite to do it, but we'll see where we're going from there. But the most important thing is that we're doing all we can to make these fights happen, and there's some real good fights there. And who knows, the winner of that fight could go on and fight Carl. So it's a very sexy situation as far as we're concerned as promoters with these guys. They're all good top quality fighters, and we're doing our best to find out who is the best out of them. But the bottom line is they're three good fighters, and there's no reason they shouldn't all fight each other. And that's really what we're about delivering to the fans. The fans want that. These are three fighters that, Irish and British fighters that are, that the fans want. Who's the best out of all of them? And the only one way you're going to find that out is for them to fight each other, and that's really what we're doing.
And also on that show you mentioned we're going to have Daniel Dubois, Anthony Yard. I'm sure that's going to be music to boxing fans' ears. Who can we expect to see them in against?
Well, we're working on the opponents, and again we'll announce that next week. But the most important thing is to get them back in action. They're two of London's, if not Britain's, or even Europe's best prospects out there. They're exciting. Every time they step into the ring, you're going to see some fireworks. And from my point of view, I'm again delighted that they're on the undercard, and there'll be some other great fights on that undercard. We've got a couple of real competitive matches that we put together, and I think the fans are going to be highly delighted when they hear what they are.
Well, Daniel Dubois 5-0, so he'll be looking to go 6-0. Probably another explosive knockout. He's becoming a bit of an internet favourite with these highlight reel knockouts. Be great for him to be sharing a card with someone like James DeGale, an established world champion. Good learning.
Well, it is good for him. It's good for all the guys to be on these shows. They get great exposure, and that's what we've been working on. I mean, these guys have all been fighting on top quality shows. They've been getting plenty of good exposure at the top level, both on BT and BoxNation, and that will continue. And what we're trying to do is get them into a position so that next year we can step them up even further, providing they keep winning, with the objective that they start fighting for, within hopefully a short space of time, up there fighting for some big titles. That's the name of the game.
We mentioned before about Dubois not being old enough to fight for the British title. What's the situation with that?
Well, he is old enough to fight for the British title. I mean, I think that's been knocked in the cocked hat, that argument. He will fight for the British title, and I think it'll be very soon. It won't be in December, but he will fight fairly soon for the British title.
So did you happen to catch the debut of Joe Joyce last week?
I did see it, yeah.
What did you make of him? Because I understand that's probably going to be in his sights as well. That
Well, I'm sure it is, and let them fight each other at the end of the day. They've sparred enough together, so I'm sure down the line they will meet up. And Joe, I've got a lot of admiration for Joe. He's done Britain proud in winning his medal, and he had a good win, and he got some rounds under his belt, which is what we're trying to do, by the way, with Daniel. Get some rounds under his belt, but he's such a concussive puncher. As soon as he connects, it's normally lights out.
It's a difficult job. So you'd be happy quite soon for a Dubois-Joyce fight if it was made?
Absolutely. We want to build it up, and that's a big fight to be made next year. There's a lot of big fights to be made next year. Maybe Joe Joyce against Gorman. There's plenty of fights there to be done. Plenty of good fights to be made.
Gorman, of course, in action November the 11th on the Smith-Williams show.
I'm looking forward to that one, and obviously the big one up there in Newcastle on the 11th is a rematch between the two Liams, Smith and Williams, and that's going to be I think that's going to be a great fight, and I'm really looking forward to that. We've got some other good fights on the card. We've got Josh Levering with Glenn Foote, which is a local derby up there, amongst many other top quality fights. So that's the sort of standard that we're putting together. That's the standard we want to keep. We want to keep to that level with these fights, and we want to keep delivering to the fans, because they're important to us. The fans are what it's all about, delivering the best fights.
Do you think Smith v Williams could be better than the first time around?
Yeah, I think there's a bit more. They've been in a ring with each other, so they will both feel they've found chinks in each other's armour, and so it's going to be interesting to see, who can make the best of that. And I know it's going to be competitive. I mean, I don't mean it in a detrimental way, but there's no love lost between the two of them. So there's a lot of spice there in that. So the fans up in the North East are going to benefit from that, as are the viewers who watch it on BoxNation and BT.
November the 11th, we are in Newcastle. Smith-Williams 2. Gorman's on that show against Nick Webb. Leathers on that show. Cracking show, as you would say, to steal a phrase from you, Frank.
Yeah.
And November 18th, a week later, we're over in Belfast.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a special night there. I'm looking forward to Jerwin and Cages. I hope I pronounced that right.
I'm going to go with you on that.
Oh, is it? Who's defending his IBF title against Jamie Conlon. That for Jamie is going to be a special night. He's in front of his home fans and in his home city, so he's got a great opportunity there, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I know he'll give everything. I know that he's not ever shown wanting in any department as far as the fight's concerned, so he knows what's at stake. He knows what the prize is, so we've done all we can to deliver him the opportunity, and I'm hoping he'll come through and deliver the goods.
Biggest night of boxing in Belfast, maybe ever. I don't know. Am I missing some obvious ones?
Well, I think it is. I think it's a great card. We've got the bantamweight championship between Zeleny Teti and Gonya.
Mm-hmm.
Teti fight anyone. They keep talking about looking for unification matches for Ryan Burnett. They haven't got to look far. They're there. It's there. That's why we're taking him there. We're going to show him, look, here is the guy. You want a unification fight? He's coming to your town, and he's willing to come back again to fight you. And I know Ryan's a good quality young fighter. He's done brilliantly in unifying the titles, and I take my hat off to him. But let's give the fans what they want. You want unification? There it is. On a plate, we'll deliver it to you. And I'm looking forward to that fight. And obviously, we got the big man himself on there, Carl Frampton, who's having his first fight under our promotional banner. I'm really looking forward to promoting Belfast Zone there. That's going to be something special. He's under the tutelage now of Jamie Moore, so he's going to bed down with him, have a fight, and then we'll be looking to move him up next year. As we mentioned earlier, there's quite a few domestic rivals there, and fights that I think all the fans are going to find quite tasty. So that's what we're working towards, and there's some cracking fights on that undercard in Belfast. So I think it's the best fight card to be on Belfast, certainly in the last probably 30 years or so. Good fights, quality fights, and they're great boxing fans in Belfast. I don't think it's 100 tickets left now, so that will certainly be sold out.
Get them quick, By the time you're watching this video, they may have actually gone.
They may have all gone. They're going, as we're talking, they're being bought.
Okay, so that's November 18th. That's Belfast, a monster show. And then December 9th, as you mentioned at the top of this video, Lee Selby and James DeGale both defending their IBF world titles.
Yeah.
They top the bill. Daniel Dubois, Anthony Yard on there as well. If you could summarise that show, How would you say it?
I think it's a great end of the year show for us in London, and again, I'm really pleased. It's a quality show, and it sets up some nice fights for next year, which we're working on. And don't forget, on the 16th, Canada, our man Billy Joe's going out there to make his mark. He's going out to Canada. HBO are taking the fight live at prime time to make a statement. He's going to the Mew's backyard. He fancies the fight. You know, Bill's fearless, and for him to be going out there, to him to be on HBO, he's got a great opportunity now to say, listen, you know, I want the winner of this Golovkin fight, this Golovkin and Canelo fight. Let's stop shilly-shallying around, and he will make it happen. I'm quite sure it's going to be a great fight, and I feel that Bill's going to really look good in this fight. You know, styles make fights, and I think that Lemieux's style will make him look will make for a good fight with Bill. So I'm looking forward to that.
So for those fans who've been asking, how come Billy Joe Saunders has to travel? How come the champion has to go over there? What is the reason for that?
I just told you. It's going out prime time on HBO. That's why he wants to make a statement.
Yeah.
If he's on prime time over here, HBO show recorded highlights. This is prime time out there. He's going to make a statement. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
And he's, you know, he's very confident. And you know, again, you're going to watch that fight on BT and BoxNation. It's a fantastic fight again for our subscribers and viewers. And we've got Gary Kokorian out in Australia. So he's out there fighting the man who ended Pacquiao's reign as champion, and I think that's you know, he's got a good chance there. I mean, if we'd have made that fight against Holmes, say 9 months ago, 10 months ago, everyone said that's a good Commonwealth title fight.
Yeah.
Holm wouldn't have done the business. So now Gary, who is, you know, who's fearless, he's out there and he's got the fight. It's a shame really that Bradley Skeet didn't get the fight, but they didn't want him. We offered him. I think all this nonsense about his boring is what they've come out with is, we all know that's an excuse. They just don't fancy him. You know, he's up there in number 3, and they've got the convention in WBO conventions going on at the moment on a boat in the Caribbean. So hopefully he'll get pushed further up the ratings, and he'll hopefully get a final eliminator for the world title, and then he can go and show everybody what he's got, and they'll be forced to fight him. Big
Leeds show over the weekend. Big success. Fans turned up. They got behind Josh Warrington. They were in full voice. And what did you make of the show in general, Frank?
I thought it was a great show. I mean, unfortunately, I had the flu, so I couldn't be there. But I watched it on TV, and I thought Josh done exceptionally well. You know, he went out there. He's got a tremendous work rate, Josh, and he didn't have any hand injuries this time. He had a great performance. His dad got him into great shape, and you know, he did what he had to do. And as I said earlier, he broke Shaylan's heart. You know, that's what I think happened. I think he was on him so much. At the end of the day, he just broke him down and stopped him, and that was a great win for him, and that sets him up with a great fight now with Lee Selby, provided Selby comes through on the 9th of December unscathed. The undercard I thought was brilliant. Yeah. There were some great performances on there. I thought Liam Woodstock was outstanding, considering the amount of fights he's had. I think it was his 10th fight.
Yeah, he's 10-0 now.
You know, that was quite a tough opponent for him in his 10th fight, and I think he really showed that he's got big cajonas, as they say. He dug deep and he did what he had to do, and I take my hat off to him. I thought Zelfa Barrett looks outstanding. He just gets better and better in every fight, and I think he is one of our real top quality prospects. And who knows, down the road, him and Leon's going to be something special. Maybe in the next year's time or so. That was a good fight. It was a cracking card. There were some fantastic fights on there.
And with Zelfa and Leon, actually, both those, we put the videos online, they're both doing very well. Zelfa, with that first knockdown, he had a bit of Lomachenko about him. He slapped the guy's, Chris Conwell, he slapped his glove down and then laid the right hand in, and Conwell went down. So.
What I like about him is the shots he throws. I mean, he's very authoritative when he throws. I mean, I promoted his uncle, and he's got the same shape as Pat Barrett. You know, shoulder-wise, you're looking big, very broad-shouldered, round back. You know, they look very strong. But he throws good shots. You know, he throws good body shots, a variety of shots. You know, he's on you, and it's not just like somebody out there jab, then throw a right hand up. They're coming from all directions, and he picks his shots well, and he places them well, and more important, he's got power in them.
And what do you see next for both Selfer and Leon there?
They'll be out in the new year, and we'll just keep stepping them up. And
Yeah.
we're going to keep moving them up and get them into bigger, better, more high-profile fights. And eventually they'll wind up topping cards in their own right.
And Jack Cattrall was in a close fight with Tyrone Nurse, and he got the title.
I think he came through it very well. I mean, I'm a big, Tyrone's a good, real top quality professional. He's a tough guy to beat. He's one of those guys who's done it the hard way, and his dad Chris, who I've got the utmost respect for, has done a great job with him. Jack, the new young kid on the block, that was a big test for him, and it was a big test for him. The styles make fights, and he's got a very difficult style to fight, Tyrone. But he dealt with it, and he came through it well, and I think he handled it well, and I think that will bring him on leaps and bounds. And obviously, he's hopefully his next fight be a different type of opponent in front of him, and I think you get a bit more out of him. Whereas that fight, it was basically getting the key to the lock and trying to, open it up, get your way through it, because that's what you have to do with Tyrone.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to get to, but he found his way there and got there at the end. So it was a great win for Jack, and I'm pleased for him. And obviously, it's not the end of Tyrone. We'll do something with him as well, and keep him going.
And could Josh Lever be? He should be having a look at what happened in Leeds. Will Jack Cattrall be in Josh Lever's sights?
Of course, next year. That's a fight to be made. There's no doubt about that. That fight will be made sometime next year. Absolutely. Good fight for both of them. But Josh has got to come through a very tough fight first.
It's Glenn for JJ Metcalf.
Did he do well?
Very well.
Bruce
4
Forsyth,
knockdowns,
didn't
I think.
He done extremely well. And it was an exciting fight again. That was a real good card, and that's what we're trying to do. And these guys are all part of what we're trying to do. Going out there and showing they're not afraid to fight. They're going out there and they're taking on guys in fights that are quite evenly matched. And I thought he came through extremely well.
And that was an eliminator for the British title.
Yeah.
So what happens now?
I'm hoping we can get him a straight shot at the title.
So that's Liam Williams has got the title. Is that right?
Well, we'll see what happens with these two. On the 11th. But whatever happens after the 11th, there's going to be a winner and a loser, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay. Anything else you want to add, Frank?
No, I'm just saying that I'm hoping all the fans are pleased with what we're doing. We are working hard on it. We're hoping, really working hard to deliver them quality, and just keep our fingers crossed that we can keep continuing to do so, because we're working hard at it. And I hope that everybody's happy with what we're doing.
I think with these latest additions to BT shows, James DeGale, Lee Selby, there's a bit of a feeling that we are assembling an army here. Frampton, DeGale, Selby, Yard, Dubois, Saunders, the list goes on and on, the prospects coming through. Does it feel like the old days, dare I say, Frank? When
listen, I spent 6 years of BoxNation devoting the majority of my time to building that platform in very difficult circumstances. I mean, when I say difficult, financially difficult circumstances, it's been a hard slog. But we got there, and as I said when we did our first show with BT in April, I said it's going to be a game changer, and that's exactly what is happening. We're there, and we're talking to all fighters. Lots of fighters. There's lots of opportunity for fighters to come and, if they want to come and fight for us. We've got an open door. Just come in. We're in the fight business. That's what we do, boxing. So if you want to, any guys feel that they're dissatisfied or whatever, come and see us. And we may do business, we may not. But the bottom line of all of it is that we are in the business of delivering the fans the fights, and that's what it's all about. And I can't emphasise it enough. Fans, giving them value for money.
Is 1995 for Joshua versus Takam value for money, Frank?
Well, look, it's not his fault that what's his name? Pulev got injured, but then again, was that a pay-per-view fight? That's the only way you find out these things is whether the fans buy them or not. If they buy them, then they're happy with what they're paying for. Pay-per-view is the most honest form of TV. That's the true value of what you're worth. And he's on a real high. He's on a big run. I see that Sky did a poll, and they took it down very quickly, which is the most ridiculous. I mean, to call him now the best British heavyweight of all time is pretty stupid to say the least. You know, he's done fantastically well. He's an exciting fighter. Anthony, a very, very exciting fighter, but he's a long way off before he can be considered to be the greatest British heavyweight of all time. You know, not on the strength of beating a Klitschko who's been out of the ring for 18 months and who was taken to school by Tyson Fury. You know, having life and death with Dylan White don't make you the greatest heavyweight of British heavyweight of all time. He's been involved in some great fights. He gives, and the fans love it. So God bless him and good luck to him. And I hope he comes through on Saturday. And I hope that Tyson comes back. I hope he gets his license back. I hope Daniel Dubois comes through. I hope Joe Joyce comes through. I hope Nathan Gorman. All these guys all coming through, and hopefully we're going to see some good fights. And we will find out if any of them can wear the mantle of Lennox Lewis, or even the crown of Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury went to Germany and took Klitschko to school 18 months before he fought Anthony Joshua. So let's not, people keep disregarding Tyson Fury. I think it's very disrespectful. But the bottom line is there's been some great British heavyweights out there. Frank Bruno done well. Listen, the guys who beat Frank Bruno, Tim Witherspoon, Bone Crushers, Mike Tyson, how would Dylan White have got on with them? How would a 41 or 42-year-old Klitschko got on with them? That's what when it comes to talking about who are the great heavyweights, it's obviously debatable and everybody's got opinion. And I'm not knocking Anthony Joshua, because I think he's very well grounded. I think he's got his feet well and truly on the floor. But whoever's at Sky had come up with that poll, they obviously had a nice long lunch that day.
One final thing, just and it's to do that show. Frank Buglioni is now facing Craig Richards, I believe, Craig Spider Richards for the British title. Callum Johnson pulled out. That whole situation from a few months ago seems quite
I'm not
strange.
fighting. I'm not going to be fighting. I am not fighting Anthony Yard. I don't want to fight him because I'm fighting Callum Johnson.
Apparently it was offered to Hosea Burton at the last minute as well, and Burton took that. Well, he said yes, but Buglioni turned down fighting Burton again.
Oh, there you go. Really, what a great fight in London. Frank against Anthony in London. Two Londoners, not down in Wales. Two Londoners in London. Be a great fight. Let's do it.
Anything else?
That's it, my old son.